Dan Hoard at Camp Higher Ground with senior running back Tion Green. We'll get to Bearcat football in a second, but I want to start with baseball because Ken Griffey Jr. went into the Hall of Fame this year, and he is a mentor of yours. He came to a Bearcat home game last year to watch you play. How did that relationship begin?
That relationship began back in high school. Me and his son, we're both from the Central Florida area, and we played on the 7-on-7 travel team. And I guess just me being me and just running around laughing, having fun, and me building the connection. And when I finally he just saw my personality, he was like, "Hey, you seem like a really good kid." And he just asked me pretty much, dude, where are you from? Just got my background information. And he was just like, if I ever needed anything as far as advice or just structure from a male figure, he would just be there to help me. So he always just was a lending hand in my life, just helping me decide what's best for me, helping me make a lot of decisions in my life. So that's pretty much how that relationship established. Was
it meaningful to you to see him go into the Hall of Fame?
Absolutely. Just to see a guy that's back growing up, just having a male figure in my life and having someone you want to make proud and just having someone that shows that they really care about you as a person and not as an athlete, just to know the love that he has shared for me and my family throughout the years, and just to see his accomplishments throughout his years, even though I was kind of young and I was a little oblivious to how great he was. I had to learn as I got older, but just to see that now, it's just a great accomplishment, and I'm just proud that I have the opportunity that he's one of my mentors, he's the perfect example of what to strive for. So everything he does when I'm around him, I just watch the way he moves, watch the way he carries himself, the way he speaks, the way he greets people. I just watch the way he moves so I can be as successful as him one day.
All right, let's turn to Bearcat football. Coach Tuberville has said because of the losses at wide receiver, 6 seniors are gone, the team is likely to rely on the running game more this year. That's you, that's Mike Boone, and potentially others. I imagine you welcome that possibility.
Yes, sir. Always as a running back, you always want the game to be on your shoulder. You always want the game to be on your back. And, of course, going from the offense we went from last year to this year, being a run-first team, that gets every running back fired up. But, right now, all of the running backs, we just all, me, Mike, Deontay, Buckley, Chad, we're just all focused on pushing each other, competing every day, and just trying to be good teammates and good team leaders. So that's really what we're focusing on right now. Just trying to encourage these wide receivers to have a chip on their shoulder as well. The fact that we lost those 6 receivers, that these guys are still D1 athletes and can step up and make plays just as well as they did last year.
We're speaking about a week into practice, and there was some video of you after the first practice speaking to your teammates, and I can't say what you said word for word, but the gist was along the lines of, you have to do it for yourself, you have to do it for the team, and you have to do it for the guy next to you. Can you talk about that message and how you're trying to lead this team?
Well, it's just a promise, and to be honest, it was just something I carried through high school, and I just figured, for a while I just always sat back and I allowed the other guys to lead, but, one guy came to me one day and was just George Wynn came to me, he was just like, "Hey, Tion, if you're doing everything right, you can speak up and say something too. If you're doing things right in the classroom, on and off the field, you have the right to lead as long as you do it every day." And it's just a promise that I keep to myself and that I keep to this teammate, just something that I carry myself throughout the years, and it goes I promise not to let myself down, I promise not to let this coaching staff down, but most of all, I promise not to let the guy beside me down. It's just being accountable at what you do, and if you just repeat that in your head over and over and over and over, I promise not to let myself down, promise not to let the coaching staff down, but most of all, I promise not to let the guy beside me down. Then, as an offense, it's like defense. One guy can make a mistake, and somebody can recover for him, but with offense, you have to be in tune as one. So you have to make that promise not to let the guy beside you down. So I feel like that's what's going to help motivate us and get us through this year, as long as everybody has that conscience of, I can't let this guy beside me down. If I'm in blitz pickup, I cannot let this left tackle down. He needs help. I can't let Gunner Kill down when he's in the pocket. One of those things.
As a senior, after the disappointment of the Hawaii Bowl, did you feel that you had to change some things in terms of culture, or for lack of a better word, this year in your senior year?
Absolutely. Communication. We just lacked a lot of things last year, which was self-explanatory. I think we do a good job now. Everybody's close. We don't sit in cliques. We don't hang in groups. You may see me hanging out with defensive guys. You may see me sitting with the specialists. We're all around each other. We just spread what we know. You may see me in the middle of practice running the ball, and all of a sudden, you may think I'm mouthing off at Zach Edwards, but Zach Edwards just telling me, "Hey, Tion, I think if you do this or do that, it'll be a better run." You got Alex Pace telling me, "Hey, Tion, put 2 hands on the ball when you're coming through the hole." Guys are communicating all over the field, and I think that's what's going to make us great this year. And I think that's something we lacked last year, communication, and especially constructive criticism. We know how to coach guys. Everybody responds to things differently. Every guy, you just can't sit and scream at him and, "Hey, Tion, don't do, you know what I'm saying, some guys you have to talk to different. You have to pull them aside and say, hey, this is what you did, this is how you fix it. Everybody responds to things different, you know. We're in Camp Higher Ground, it's hot. Tempers are flaring, coaches are screaming, you know. Everybody responds differently, but I just think communication is a big thing that we do different this year now.
Always enjoy catching up. Best of luck this year.
Yes, sir. Thank you so much. I really appreciate the opportunity as always. Go
All right.
Bearcats.
That's running back Tion Green, and I'm Dan Hoard for GoBearcats.com.